Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone for being here today with me. My name is Alsyahira Ghifara Syaada, and I'm here to present my research. The research I brought today is about the role of consumers' product knowledge and religiosity of young adult Muslims on purchase decisions in halal cosmetics. So, the background itself, we know that currently Muslim is the fastest growing population, and the world Muslim population is even predicted to increase from 1.7 billion in 2014 to 2.2 billion in 2030. And the Muslim community is expected to grow at double the rate of the non-Muslim community over the next 2 decades based on the Thomson Reuters report in 2014. With this rapid development of Muslim populations in the world, especially in Indonesia, is certainly very influential for the industries and economy, especially in halal industry and also Sharia industry. It should be underlined that the rapid development of the Muslim population will also affect the increase of demand in the several industries, especially in halal cosmetic industries. Halal industry and halal economy are something that attracts attention for some businesses, but keep in mind that for a Muslim, they are required to consume products that are categorized halal. Halal means permitted or lawful to be consumed. With the high number of Muslim consumers in Indonesia in the halal cosmetic industries, this causes a variety of all generations, characteristic and life stages of Muslim consumers in Indonesia, especially young adult generations. With a wide age range of young adults from 18 until 30 years old, this causes two life stages to be also divided, namely the millennial generations of Generation Z. Both of the generations are actually shares the same characteristic where they are considered as the world's largest consumers group and they have this strong purchasing ability, which makes them very attractive in so many industries. And as the consumers who have this strong purchasing power, usually there are several points of considerations that become their main perceptions in most products and services in the market. It's stated that consumers' product knowledge, religiosity, and halal perception eventually influence consumers' purchase decisions and behavior as examined in the previous studies. The problem statement underlying this research is because it has been stated that according to a survey conducted by Handrana et al. In 2021 on millennial Muslim women, it was proven that 30 Muslim women in the millennium, only 12 of them had consumed halal cosmetic products. Less than half shoppers pay attention to the halal character of the cosmetic products they buy. And in addition, there have not been so many existing studies regarding to halal cosmetics. And most of the previous studies only discuss more about the context of halal food consumptions. The scope of limitations of the research is limited to only Muslim consumers in Indonesia, and then the research sample is also addressed to people that age from 18 until 30 years old young adult Muslim consumers who have actually purchased halal cosmetic, and moreover, it only focuses on the factors that influence purchase decisions. This study chose to adapt conceptual framework planned by Ishak et al. 2015 after reviewing the related previous studies that identified relationships between characteristics of religiosity, consumers' product knowledge, and halal perceptions. However, there are certain kind of modifying conceptual framework from the original one. Overall, there are three main hypotheses where the first one is there's a positive relationship between halal perceptions with purchase decisions, and then there is a positive relationships between religiosity with purchase. And then the last one, there is a positive relationship between consumers' product knowledge with purchase decision. So the quantitative approach is considered to be suitable for this context, since the objective of this project is to find and test the relationships between consumers' product knowledge, religiosity, and other influencing factors towards purchase decisions on halal cosmetics. To acquire the relevant information, structured questionnaires are used as a survey method. The survey is using questionnaire with a series of questions to gather the relevant questions and response from the respondents. And the study's population is considered to be a Muslim population who put interest in halal cosmetics. And then the Muslim population who put interest in halal cosmetic are considered to be young adult with age range from 18 to 30 years old who have actually purchased halal cosmetic for the past 6 months. And then for the sampling technique itself, the researcher used for positive sampling with a minimum respondent 200 respondents, since based on Malhotra and Birks in 2017, it stated that the minimum respondents for advertising activity is 200 respondents. And then for the data analysis itself, the researcher will use PLS SAM for analyzing the obtained data. The researcher used a questionnaire-based survey in this research. In total, the questionnaires got 240 respondents, and there were 270 respondents who met the research criteria. Therefore, the data used in this research is 117 data. And it can be seen that from the socio-demographic profile, the respondents who dominate the questionnaires are the age group from 18 until 24 years old. And then it also can be concluded that the gender of the respondent who dominate this questionnaire itself is female. So, and then the majority of the respondents is from Bandung, where 135 respondents hail from the city. And then aside from that, 39 respondents from DKI Jakarta have also taken part in this poll. The occupation of the respondent is also dominated by students. And then aside from that, it can also be seen that the other dominating respondents' occupations are coming from private employees. As for the behavioral profile itself, 270 respondents have purchased or used halal cosmetic. However, it can be seen that 23 of the respondents have not actually purchased the halal cosmetic. Therefore, 23 of the respondents are not considered to be included in the further analysis. For the frequency itself, it can be seen that 107 respondents have purchased halal cosmetic more than 3 times in the past 6 months, and then 75 respondents have purchased halal cosmetics 1 until 2 times in the past 6 months, and then 35 respondents have purchased halal cosmetic 1 time in the past 6 months. It can be concluded that most of the respondents have actually exposed to the halal cosmetic itself. Reliability and validity tests were conducted before the researcher conducted a hypothesis testing. And as it can be seen from the table, all the variables fulfill the minimum acceptable score for reliability test, which is 0.7. And it can be concluded that all the variables are reliable and can be investigated further for the next phase. And then the traditional average variant extracted value in this validity analysis, according to Malhotra, is 0.5. And it also can be seen that from the table below that all the variables considered valid based on the preferred average variance extracted value. So in these sections, the PLS computation is used to explain both of the findings of the hypothesis testing and the significance indicated by t-values assessed by the inner model path of coefficients. Hypothesis 1 stated that religiosity has a positive relationships with purchase decisions, where the t-value of the hypothesis is 4.519, which is greater than 1.96, with a significant point of 0.0%. And then hypothesis 2 also stated that consumers' product knowledge has a positive relationships with purchase decisions, where the t-value is also greater than 1.96 with a significant point with 0.5%. And then hypothesis 3 also stated that halal perceptions has a positive relationship with purchase decisions, where also the t-value is greater than 1.96 with a significant point 0.5%. So the first hypothesis assumed that the religiosity has a positive relationships with purchase decisions. After analyzing the data result in the study, found that hypothesis of the religiosity has a positive relationships with purchase decisions is accepted. This result is also consistent with the previous research that has been done by Nurhayati and Hendar in 2018, who found that religiosity has a positive relationships with purchasing activity. And then for the second hypothesis, assume that consumers' product knowledge has also positive relationships with purchase decisions. And this result is consistent with the previous study or research that has been done by Nurhayati and Hendar in 2018, and Aziz and Chok in 2030, where they stated that knowledge or a specific knowledge of halal products has a positive relationships purchasing activity. And then for the last hypothesis, or the third hypothesis, also assumed that halal perceptions have a positive relationships with purchase decisions. This result is consistent with the previous research that has been done by Ishak et al. In 2016, where they stated that halal perceptions has association with consumers' purchase decisions. The items of halal perceptions variables such as level informations and country of origin also found to be significant to be the important extrinsic cues that influence halal perceptions. However, one of the items halal perceptions, which is halal party verification, found to be inconsistent with the previous study of Ishak et al. In 2016. As for the future research direction itself, certain limitations need to be considered in further research, since the research only covers the halal cosmetic sector itself, and then kindly to examine other variables that could possibly have significant influence to purchase decision. And then the other researcher also could explore the other life stages beside young adult Muslims, and then kindly to get equal respondents between female and male, since the questionnaire result in this research is highly dominated by the female itself. And that's all from me. Thank you for listening to my research presentations. Thank you.